Yo, what's up, guys? You got Pokeaim here. So today I have a discussion video with my buddy Blunder. You can say hi.
What's good? What's good?
We'll be talking about Pokemon that are going to be better if Urshifu ends up being banned. This is more from an offensive standpoint because a lot of people feel that Stall is going to run rampant if Urshifu is banned. I don't disagree. I don't agree. Like, I do think that Fatmons obviously get better, but I also think a lot of Pokemon have been held back because of the fact that Urshifu is around, and some of them are top tier threats. So if you guys like this video, subscribe to me. Check out Blunder as well. We did a video on his channel where we use Electivire and OU, so that was a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we went crazy down the high ladder. And yeah, so Spectrier. Blunder, do you want to kind of just start it off with Spectrier?
Yeah, so we decided to talk about Spectrier as the first mon, since that's like one of the best mons in OU, right? One of the number one, offensive mons. It's pretty easy to compare it to Urshifu too, since they both kind of just spam their stab move of choice. Spectrier kind of doesn't have a choice, and Urshifu, I mean, it's its best move. But me and Joey basically agreed that the Scarf and Spectrier just get really, really good. And in my opinion, Scarf especially gets better because Urshifu is one of like the few things on offense that can even switch in like one time, obviously, only once, but you can still do it if you need to. And also the threat of Sucker Punch kept Spectrier at bay. I'm not going to bring up Sub because I think Sub did a pretty decent job at taking on Urshifu to begin with. But yeah, I think the choice sets just become a whole lot better. Spectrier in general, right? Because offense teams, a lot of times, they just relied on Urshifu to scare it out. Now what are you supposed to rely on to scare Spectrier out, you know? It's not like an offense team is just going to throw a Tyranitar on there or a Mandibuzz. It doesn't fit like that.
Exactly, and I do think that, like what Blunder said, specifically the choice sets are going to start to really be deadly, because even Specs as well versus just like fatter teams that are not relying on Blissey, or I don't know, to a lesser extent, like you said, Tyranitar, and even lesser extent like Snorlax or something. Like, this thing is just going to be able to click Spec Shadow Ball or Scarf Shadow Ball and start snowballing because of its Grim Day ability. Not to mention, Shadow Ball is such a great move either way because it gets Spadef drop on you, and you know that's your check. That's your check right there.
Bro.
So an offensive mon that gets a lot better with Urshifu being gone. For what Blunder mentioned, like being able to take a hit if necessary, threaten it with Sucker Punch, or obviously KO with Wicked Blow. One of my favorite mons to use in this generation is Lele, specifically Choice Specs Lele. I believe that it has absolutely no switch-ins between Psyshock, Psychic, Moonblast, and Focus Blast. And if you want to drop Thunder on there, you can, if Celesteela actually starts to pick up. But one of the biggest thing about Lele is it's a Psychic Fairy, and being a Fairy type and being immune to that Sucker Punch is really good because you're able to deal with mons like, let's say, Bisharp for last generation. Although it's something we do on this list. So Urshifu was pretty unique in being a Dark type because it's actually a Dark type that was faster than Lele, but can also threaten to knock it out in one hit with a Life Orb or a Choice Band Wicked Blow. And Urshifu also made you think twice about clicking Psychic versus Moonblast, right? A mon like Mandibuzz or a slower Dark type like Tyranitar, they don't matter as much in a sense because you can switch out or you can stay in.
You can just switch out. It's not like they're going to be a threat
to something else.
If you Psychic into Urshifu, you're so screwed.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You give it free turns. So
unless you have Buzzwole, you're screwed.
Exactly. You give it a lot of free turns, and that's the big thing about Urshifu, right? It forces you to use like Feeny, Buzzwole, or Clefable as your answers. So Lele is one of those mons that just really takes advantage of it being gone. Yes, again, I do think a lot of Dark types are going to get better, and I do think Ghost types are going to get stronger too. We don't have Pult on this list as well, but Pult, Gengar are mons that also I think get stronger too.
Pult's a good one because the only way Pult is capable of O-calling the dude is with Specs Draco.
Exactly. So, and if you miss Will-O-Wisp, then you're screwed as well.
Then you're screwed, right? And even if you hit Will-O-Wisp, you still die to Wicked Blow. So I mean, if that's the trade you want to make,
exactly. You want to burn on them.
So yeah, you're right. It really does make Pult better. Scarf, Gengar, all Gengars.
Yeah, all Gengars, and like I said, Lele too, because Lele doesn't have to worry, and Spec, Psychic, and Moonblast just don't really have good switches.
Yeah, all the stuff 97 speed barely beat, aka the 95 guys.
Yeah, it's just and just another addition of like Urshifu being banned. Again, this is more so like what defensively would come back, but like Bro's already good, Galarian Slowking's already good, right? So they get even better, but that's better for Lele, especially Bro, because Bro just gets 2-hit KO by Psychic with a little bit of damage, or Moonblast, and even Galarian Slowking, Assault Vest, it can't switch into Psyshock. Psyshock does like 80%. So Lele just gets a lot better at spamming it, and this is also one of my favorite mons. And you want to talk a little bit about Crook? How do you think about it? Because I know you've been kind of put on it now.
Yeah, I've been using Crook a lot since we used your team. I've used Scarf Crook and I've used AV Crook. I thought AV was garbage, but I really liked Scarf. And I only use Moxie for the most part, but obviously all the abilities are good.
Yeah,
I mean, Anger Point's useless with URSHIFU getting banned, but yeah, Crook is just nice because there's not a lot of things to switch into knockoff, right? And again, it all goes back to what we were talking about with Tapu Lele. You just don't want the thing to switch in for free. Knocking off URSHIFU wasn't that great because you're still afraid of that shit coming in for free. I mean, it's always nice to take something's item, but
Earthquake didn't even 2 KO unless you had a little bit of
yeah, Earthquake doesn't even 2 KO either, so that was kind of annoying. But Crook is just another one of those you know, just good dark type Pokemon. Dark typing has always been one of the best offensive like typings in general. And this thing, I think it becomes a lot more potent as a just kind of like a sweeper too.
Yeah,
I think Scarf has a lot more
yeah.
potency now. Yeah.
Especially with the ghost types all getting better and psychic types all getting better. And even dark types too, because Crocodile got close combat this generation as well.
Yeah,
so
Crook,
it can actually
threaten. We don't have to prove how good Crook is. You can see the vids. Like this thing this always puts work in for us when we use it.
Yeah, I love this paired with Tapu Fini because like not having to worry about getting the flame body or anything like that too, or static or burn from Will-O-Wisp. Like it's so good. So I think Crook gets a lot better as a choice scarfer, and I think this is like, you know, maybe your offense is weak to Spectrier. Crook is a good fit on bulky offenses and balances and even offenses there.
For sure.
The Forgotten Threat, Bisharp. This is something that, yeah, if Lele gets better, sure, obviously second terrain, but I mean, that didn't stop Bisharp last generation, you know? Bisharp was still incredible. And the fact that you can, like, abuse this thing's Defiant ability too, because Mana Buzz is good right now. I'm sure Zapdos and Moltres may start running higher than Jolly Bisharp, potentially, if the case be, but a lot of them are just faster than Magearna, which is still slower than Jolly Bisharp as well. So I think Jolly Bisharp isn't the best Bisharp, but I do think like in the current metagame, it might not suck. Because if you can get a +2 and they come in.
I've toyed with a lot of different Bisharps, and personally, I always would run max HP Bisharp because in my mind, I was like, who cares about max speed? URSHIFU's on everybody's team. I'd rather have max HP to tank the, you know, whatever from Rillaboom or whatever the case may be. But I think you're right. Now that URSHIFU is gone, it might be worth, you know, testing out.
Yeah, like even like Lumberry or something like that too. Like because you gotta remember, Zapdos isn't running Heat Wave as often as it did before.
They don't even run Heat Wave. Yeah. You're right. Maybe like 20% of them run Heat Wave.
Yeah.
And if they're running Heat Wave, they're gonna be offensive, and you're gonna lose anyway. So
exactly.
Yeah, you're right. So if you're running Heat Wave, it's because you can afford to run 3 attacks or something like that.
Exactly.
Most of the time.
So Bisharp gets a lot stronger. It doesn't have to work. I mean, URSHIFU could take every hit from it, right? Iron Head.
I think what you said about Lele is true. I think Lele will really take off. I think people have really just not been using this. I don't know why.
It's
yeah, I don't know why they're still sleeping, but you're right. Once URSHIFU and its 97 speed are gone, what are you supposed to do?
Exactly.
You know, that was the easiest like scare it out, one hit KO.
I think what's it called? Yeah, exactly. Only Spectrier can do that as well. That's the big thing. Like, out of dark types and ghost types, only Spectrier can do that, and Specs Dragon Pole. Those are like the only ones.
Yes, agreed.
So like that's why Lele gets crazy better because Lele gets better and URSHIFU's gone. Aegislash gets better in the same regard.
True. This guy maybe could even come back to OU. Who knows? But yeah, this thing is really, really major. Aegislash fell down to UU. We really haven't seen it in OU in forever. I mean, what sets have we even... Have you even used Aegislash lately? I really haven't used it.
I've used Spell Tag with Shadow Sneak, Shadow Ball, Flash
close
Cannon.
combat.
Yeah, close combat. I do think that maybe King Shield might make a return versus Specs Lele's with like leftovers, and maybe we might even see some mixed Shadow Ball, Shadow Claw type of thing for like slow Kings and stuff too. I just think that like even Toxic, like King Shield Toxic is decent versus because you're not going to be forced to run Clef, Buzzwole type of things, and because those get all those mons lose to Specs Fini.
Yeah, Aegislash has always been like one of my faves. The only problem I've ever had with Aegislash is when you run into Toxapex. That's it.
Yep.
That's like literally it.
Literally
nothing else can beat it 1v1 if you're Specs. And even Specs can shit on what's it called? Even Specs can take care of Aegislash.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Aegislash, take care of Toxapex.
Yeah.
But the fact that URSHIFU, again, it's just one of those mons that can automatically win a KO is gone. Then that's just really nice for Aegislash altogether. SD is probably crazy.
I think SD gets better. I also want to say that you mentioned something because can OHKO no matter what, right? Even through King Shield, even through Intimidate. I think the Intimidators like Landorus get stronger too, just defensively.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Landorus becomes way better.
Because even Gyarados, dude, you can't crit, like there's no Intimidate. You can crit them. Like Gyarados, I think is a cool one too because Dragon and Stone Edge like powered, like it has the coverage to do it. Like you might even run like I know no water stab's crazy, but like you know, if you really want to touch everything, you know, you got Stone Edge, Power Whip, Earthquake right there. So like,
Yeah, you could do something crazy.
yeah, that's another mon that just gets stronger. And again, I think Aegislash, going back to it, like Specs gets a lot stronger. Doesn't have to worry about that Oko. That's the big thing that Urshifu did. It's a mon that came in had limited responses, but and it's not banned yet. It's not banned.
It's
and
the only reason that Clefable's at the top.
Yep.
To me, at least.
Yeah,
I know some people think Clef
yeah.
is good enough, but I don't think Clef's good enough to be at the top.
Clef actually just fell out of S tier in viability, which is interesting.
Yeah, that shit's not that good.
Yeah, it's not.
I agree. Yeah.
It's not top tier right now as well.
It's not top tier at all. It's just that Urshifu was too limiting and Mosa was limiting, but it's getting exposed now. That when Urshifu leaves, I think a lot of this metagame gets cleaned up. I think there is a little bit of fear of the stall thing, which I don't even automatically dismay the stall thing. I think this shit does get stronger. But still, I think
there's so much offensive
I feel like
threats.
stall was fine versus Urshifu.
Yeah.
I feel like balances were more worried. You know?
Yeah.
If you were running like a Hippo Excadrill type, Hippo Exca.
Oh, we have that. We actually have that down
Tangrowth.
here too. Like literally sand, like sand
If
stuff.
you were running, we were talking about that before the video. Sand gets owned by Excadrill. I mean, not Excadrill, by Urshifu. But if you look at a stall team with something like Helmet Pex plus Tangrowth, Urshifu only gets like 4 or 5 hits. And I'm sure we've all been in a position where we've lost our Urshifu because they outstall with Helmet.
Yep.
We've all been in that spot before. Helmet, sand, switch stalling. It can happen. No one's immune. So,
and yeah, that's where
I think stall is pretty good versus it.
That's when my friend Tapu Lele comes back and just single-handedly beats stall on its own as long as you hit a focus blast. That's basically it. So
soon they'll start taking that Spadef Corv and we'll have to either T-Bolt or Magnezone.
Magnezone, exactly. So again, following the trend of slower dark types and ghost types that get better, Crawdaunt is a big one as well. Now Crawdaunt's kind of like in a weird spot in the metagame because Zapdos is so good, and then you obviously have Rillaboom as well, which gets even stronger with Urshifu being gone too, right? But Crawdaunt's on that part where people might even start running more Spadef natures because of Aegislash being Specs being better as well. And
yeah, true. Maybe Feeney's will start running more Spadef. Feeney ran Max Def literally just for Urshifu.
Yeah, Urshifu and Pheromosa, which is gone.
Yeah, maybe you'd want Spadef now. I don't know for what, but like maybe you would want it. Who knows? What if Latios starts getting big in usage? You know what I mean? The metagame's gonna change now.
Yeah.
What if Latios rockets to the sky and you need to start running a mixed Lele? Not mixed, but a mixed Feeny.
And it's for good reason too, because this mon got Aura Sphere, Mystical Fire, and Future Sight.
Exactly.
So those are all like giant things.
Oh, I forgot about Future Sight. Yeah.
I actually really like Lele plus Latios as well. I think they're pretty strong together.
Most definitely, especially because the dude has Mystical Fire now and Aura Sphere.
Exactly.
So now he destroys everybody.
And
that's crazy.
And it resists Rillaboom, and it's one less mon to lose to Sucker Punch. You know,
I'm gonna try both those assholes with Future Sight. destroy the opponent's brain.
That's all I'm saying. Like that, like these Pokemon just get a lot stronger, and like granted, like I said, the ghosts get better. So you got Spectre, so that's why we're keeping Spectre at number 1. But because Spectre gets so much better, Obstagoon is another mon that just comes back, and Obstagoon completely shuts down that Pokemon. Doesn't care about Burn because it guts. Can't be Shadow Ball. Resist Dark Pulse.
I love the Goon, man. Goon was always a mon, even in Urshifu meta. I was saying is worth using. And now with Urshifu gone, this is like the second thing that's closest to Urshifu.
I agree.
This shit's good, man. With Facade knockoff.
You know what I think falls down?
Who?
Like completely Buzzwole. Buzzwole.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who Buzzwole's supposed to wall now. There's no Mosa, there's no Urshifu.
Even like right? it's literally only Rillaboom. Like every other
and Rillaboom gets beaten by the birds, so there's no reason to run Buzzwole anymore.
Exactly. Right? Like basically every mon in OU has a way of dealing with Buzzwole. So if
I think Buzzwole's done. I think you're right. I think Buzzwole's done.
Yep. Unless they start running some sort of offensive or like some like Life Orb, like Stone Edge, Poison Jab, Close Combat, Fast and
Even then, like I remember, I recorded 2 vids at a point. One with Aerial Ace Urshifu, one with Aerial Ace Excadrill. So
yeah, and then
only a matter of time, right?
If Buzzwole ever got popular, Rillaboom would just start running acrobatics again. So like it's its own thing. Like so this really works in Obstagoon's favor because again, what we were talking about, if Lele gets better, Corviknight might start running more special defensive, which helps out bulk up knockoff Obstagoon, close combat Obstagoon with the guts and whatnot. And also if Feeney starts running like a more mix instead of max full on defense, if it's not, and if you actually are able to activate your Flame Orb, because that's a pretty big thing too, because obviously we did it to that one Obstagoon the other day. Remember we had Feeney out in the field, they couldn't activate their Flame Orb. But its speed tier is strong. It has really good HP and really good defense and a pretty respectable special defense. And it gets free switchings with Teleport, with Volt Switch, with U-Turn type of thing. So it's one of those mons that might actually really have a strong presence as well. And I'm pretty excited about that. I think Rain gets stronger too if we're just all talking about team compositions. Like you knock out Barrascuda with Life Orb Sucker Punch, before.
Yeah.
Or been sucker, but now you don't. Like, so Rain gets Bearski is already great because of flip turn and whatnot, right? So from an offensive standpoint, Rain gets stronger as well, and even like not getting the free turns versus Pelipper because when Rain goes down or like or Feral Thorns in, if it's not Rain Chopple, can't even knock out URSHIFU back, but you get those free turns. So or like not being able to sucker punch a Zapdos type of thing. So Rain is a cool thing, and we mentioned earlier what we thought about Sand. Sand. The thing with Sand is even if you're running defensive Pokemon like Pex and Zapdos on it as your URSHIFU answers, besides a Powdon, they also have Sandstorm working against them too, right?
Yes. And so the chip, it starts to total up.
Exactly. And then one thing I think that people aren't looking on too, I feel like Jirachi is a really cool one. I think this is directly proportionate with Latios as well as, or directly correlates with Latios as well as Lele getting better. Not that Latios doesn't have means of touching this thing, Earthquake, Mystical Fire, Shadow Ball, whatever the hell you want. Same thing with Lele can run Shadow Ball if it really needs to. But I think that Rachi has a pretty cool thing, and I think that speed tier is really important too, and its overall move pool as well, Aura Sphere and stuff like that too. So I think that this, like a Subcom Mind type of set, or basically anything, because the Dark types are still obviously really good, and like even if Spectre gets banned, if we finally get rid of the crappy Hydreigon that's running around. Freaking hate that Hydreigon so much. The leftovers.
It's stupid Spadef Hydra.
That does nothing.
Bro,
that is so
bro.
useless.
In reality, this is rising Spadef Hydra's usage to 100 million%.
Yes, it is. But if Spectre goes after, like I think that's a big thing too. Because
I wonder if this will cause a train reaction. If the Mosa because Mosa obviously led to URSHIFU, that was simple, and then
URSHIFU makes.
I don't know. If
URSHIFU way better.
Yeah, and then Spectre goes, and then we just set off a reaction. So we'll see where we go from here.
But the thing with this is that all these mons get even better if Spectre is gone too. Though every single mon on this list gets better. Besides, Obsidian's already great, but like literally every single mon on this gets better as well if they can't do it. So, I do want to know your guys' thoughts. Let me know down below what you think. If URSHIFU gets banned, what gets better, what playstyles get better. I do think it is valid to say that yes, fatter playstyles can get better, but I do think the offensive power that we have as well gets way higher. Like just like so much stronger as well. And not to mention, like, Zamazenta might eventually be tested back in too, which is a
I forgot they want to bring his ass back.
That's what's a direct relation to you. Like, what? Huh?
I know it's all my fault. No game.
But yeah. So let me know your guys' thoughts on it as well, and check out Blunder. His channel link is down below. We got a video over on his channel as well if you want to see that. Subscribe.
Yes, sir.
If you guys are new, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Take it easy.